course, the outrage continues as we continue to learn more and more about that horrible murder of the young Ukrainian woman on a North Carolina transit train.
Yeah, well, many want to know why the suspect was allowed back on the streets. Others say it shouldn't be a surprise, as progressives have been telegraphing their so-called reforms for years. Newsmax crime correspondent Jason Mattera is digging into the details of this horrific case. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Mark and Charla. And yeah, the ugly truth is that progressives are philosophically opposed to punishing criminals. It is not a bug in their system. It is the feature. Remember, the fatal stabbing of Irina Zarutska happened 3 weeks ago. The outrage only erupted once the light rail security footage went public. But at the time of the murder, Charlotte's mayor, Vi Lyles, issued a statement, and her first instinct was to empathize with the killer. She said, quote, "We will never arrest our way out of those issues such as homelessness and mental health." She then promised not to villainize those she called the unhoused. The killer was homeless. Lyles even equated violent maniacs like DeCarlos Brown with people battling cancer and heart disease. What Lyles said, though, wasn't a slip. It was the script that progressives nailed themselves to during the George Floyd hysteria. Look no further than Josh Stein. Today, he's North Carolina's governor, but back in the summer of 2020, he was the state's attorney general. And just weeks after Floyd's death, Stein helped roll out a shiny new project to reimagine public safety in his state. Take a listen.
The Task Force for Racial Equity and Criminal Justice will consider and implement measures that can bring about meaningful change to the criminal justice system.
One of those changes was to scrap local ordinances tied to homelessness, things like public urination, panhandling, and even disturbing the peace. Another gem, mandatory racial equity training for the entire court system, judges, DAs, public defenders, the whole lot. Then there was the call to expand diversion programs so offenders spend less time in jail. And of course, the progressive crown jewel, scrapping cash bail requirements as a condition for pretrial release. But reality does not bend to progressive wish casting. As FBI Special Agent James Barnacle put it yesterday, when federal charges were announced in this case, the end result isn't just dangerous trains, it's communities where the public can't count on basic safety.
Why do we have people, whether there's mental health issues or violent crime issues, why are they on the streets? Why are our buses, our trains, our transportation systems almost homeless shelters?
Mark, Charlotte's mayor, who, by the way, won the Democrat nomination yesterday, despite all this, she may think you can't arrest your way towards public safety, but that's exactly what you do with criminals, right? You arrest them, you lock them up, and this is indisputable. If that would have happened in this case, this young, beautiful Ukrainian woman who survived the bomb shelter we learned yesterday while she was in Ukraine would still be alive today.
Yeah, and again, this woman who just won the primary yesterday saying that, you know, we should feel sorry for this man because he was unhoused. Let's feel sorry for the woman who was brutally murdered on her train in her city.
And this is a 4-term mayor who's now seeking her 5th term. So what you get is that's your leadership. All right, Jason Mattera, thanks this morning.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.